Hi everybody! Happy belated New Year and welcome back to Rosemaling with Art of Lise. This is my first video of 2022, so I hope all of you have been well and thank you for joining me again. Sorry I've been kind of MIA. It was a very hectic fall and spent some time taking care of family stuff and all is good. Alright, so what I'm going to do today is I'm going to revisit some of the butterflies that I do. I have some detailing work I need to do to finish up the second wing. So we're going to show you how that's done today. Let me back up just a little bit. I want to try to give you guys the best view I possibly can. Alright, so first we're going to mix up my detail paint. The background on this butterfly is done with JoSonja Raindrop. Okay, that's my color that I'm using here. My brush strokes, my C and S strokes, are done with warm white. All right, and my detail work is going to be a combination of Prussian blue and burnt sienna. I'm going to mix that up right here and show you how it's done. Okay, so I'm going to start with some Prussian blue. All right, I'm just using a piece of palette paper here. I don't need a big thing all set up like I usually use my wet palette, but today I'm just going to use this nice little piece of palette paper. All right, let me just give a kind of a look-see on the comparison of how big this is. All right, you know, everybody, you've had pins, you know, that you get. You go to Disney World, you get your pins. All right, so this is your pin backing. That kind of gives you an idea of the size that we're doing here. So this is about a 2-to-1 ratio. I'll add the burnt sienna kind of slowly. I'll add about half first. So I like this Prussian blue burnt sienna mix. It's a nice toned down version. Prussian blue can be extremely bright. I'm just going for it. Let's just add it all here. All right, but this gives just a nice tone with this. All right, so when I work with detail, I need to add medium to this so that it's nice and loose. Rosemaling, as I've talked about in the past, is traditionally a wet on wet oil style of painting. I switched over to acrylics 20 plus years ago after working with oils for 20 plus years. So I'm well versed in both. So the effect we want to get is kind of a wet on wet technique of the detail work going on our brush strokes. But it's kind of an illusion because obviously acrylic paint is already dry. All right, I'm going back to my medium that I like to use. It's a 1-to-1-to-1 of Retarder Medium, Flow Medium, and clear glaze medium. Obviously, I have it in this nice little container. Here we go. As I will try to remember to put all of this in the notes down below, as well as a link to where I get my nice little butterflies here. All right, so let me add some of my medium to this. I'm adding a good amount because I want my medium to be nice and loose. I'll go back to my very first teacher back many years ago when I was 11, and Mr. John Grundall on Staten Island. And he said to add enough medium to your detail paint to make it like you have melted ice cream. All right, so that's always what I like to have, a melted ice cream effect. Make sure you wipe off your palette knife afterwards. I think that's pretty good. I always also keep, let's see if I have one handy. Of course, am I going to have one handy? Oh yeah, I do. I like to keep a little bottle cap here. Put a little extra medium in here just in case you need it. And then also have a piece of paper towel handy so that you can wipe your brush. Okay, so as you can see, let me make some room here because everything seems to come really close. As you can see, I've already detailed this one side. So I'm going to try to make this match as closely on the other side. So I'll use this as my sample here. All right, I'll keep that handy. All right, let's go to my brush here. I am using a Premium 10/0 Original Gold Kingart. And if you can't read that, because you might not be able to, it's a 9375 mid-length liner. Okay? Again, I'll put that in the notes down below as well. All right, I'm loading my brush. I'm twirling it through. It took me 5 minutes to get to this point. Oh my goodness. Okay, I hope you're going to enjoy the ride today. We'll see how long it takes me to get this loaded on as well. All right, again, I pull my brush strokes towards me. I'm going to start down here in the center here, and let's get going. All right, I think this is a pretty good view. Let me have that paper towel. I have a little blob right at the top there, so I'm going to just wipe the tip a little bit so I don't get that blob as I start. And let's just go ahead and dive in. All right, I'm coming this way. Oh, my son just woke up, so I'm sure I'll have a visitor in a moment. All right, and we're just gonna work my way around. Now, again, I have been doing this for a very long time. Sorry, I didn't mean to give you some rock and roll shaking here. So I do move a little fast. But again, this is many, many years of practice. And if you can see, I'm using pressure. I'm starting at the tip and then I press down. Let's start at the tip, press down, and then let's turn, and I have some connector dots here. Just some dots coming in. The start of my scrolls all come down into here. They're a little messy, but oh, well, you know, this is the nice thing about detail. Detail can clean this up quite nicely. All right. Actually, I'm kind of surprised I haven't heard from him yet. All right. Let's see also if we can get away without Chloe barking in the background. Many of you know I have a nice little Pekingese Shih Tzu rescue, and she typically will start calling for me. As you can see, I keep rotating this so that I'm pulling my brush strokes towards me, because that's what you need to do. You need to pull the brush strokes towards you. Okay, let's put some nice little teardrops in there. And I'm just pushing down and lifting up, pushing down and lifting up. This really isn't so much a teaching video today. This is more of a demonstration. Something that I hope you guys all enjoy as I paint along here. Okay, I'm working down the center here. Use this as some inspiration. Use this as maybe just something to enjoy, to watch. Realize again, this is many, many years of practice behind this. Now I'm starting at the tip. I'm pulling my brush around and pushing down and lifting up. Push down and lift up. Looks like I have, let's see, what do we have here? Oh, let me get this size. All right. Like I said, we're just going to keep working our way around here. And come around, let's see, some nice little detail lines. And again, detailing doesn't necessarily mean you outline everything you do. Detailing is to give it some zhuzh, especially in this style. This is the Telemark style of Rosemaling. This is kind of the wild child of Rosemaling. It's asymmetrical. It's very free-flowing. There's many versions of Telemark. This is a transparent Telemark. It doesn't mean that you totally see through, but you can see some of the background color coming up. And that background color adds to your total design. Especially if, like in this case, I'm really doing a monochromatic design here. So having that detail or having that background paint really helps add to the design. Notice I am using my hand. I really should be using my wrist as a brace. Your hand has a lot of bones in there, so it's kind of a bumpy ride. If you use your wrist, you have less of a chance of bouncing along like you're going down a bouncy road. All right, let's bring this up and pull around. And I'm not too worried that this isn't exactly like the other side. You want it to be as close as possible, but it doesn't have to be an exact mirror image. Let's pull a line there. Your eye will see the symmetry and make it all kind of work. And again, I like to say we're not robots, all right? We're not made to make everything exactly alike. We are human, and we're allowed to kind of make it have a human touch to it. I like doing those little dots. They're fun. All right, let's keep working our way around here. All right, come around. And again, wipe off the tip if you feel like you have too much paint on the tip, because so you don't get a blob. It's got a little blobby, but you know, I'm not really going to worry about it, because as I work my way around, it will kind of blend in. And again, if you notice, I'm going through thick and thin. You want to give a variety to your line work, especially when this is very minimalistic in a way between the monochromatic background and your monochromatic line work. So you want to have variety in your shapes and in your line work. Okay, as you can see, I keep moving it. I keep pulling the brush strokes towards me. Push down, lift up to the point, push down, lift up. You just keep moving around. Let's come around this side here. I truly hope all of you have been well out there. I send blessings on this new year. I look forward to doing a lot more videos. Excuse my little voice there. Nothing like post-nasal drip that's been going on. We have a wood-burning fireplace, so the air in our house has been very dry lately. All right, let's see. We're going to make these little buds here. And just do these nice little outlines. Pull that around. Okay, I've got a little empty space. Now, I have a, can you see I have a blob on there? Just a little blob. Again, take and wipe. Take that, and then you get a point there. But you have plenty of paint on your brush. I just keep going back and loading periodically when I feel that I don't have enough on there. But usually you have enough paint that will just let it flow. Again, I keep turning it. Whoop, I came up there. I was looking at my view on my phone here, my camera. So my hope for the new year is we're going to kind of rework my studio here. So I have a prep space. I won't have this kind of messy background. My husband is working on trying to give me a little more of a professional look. Imagine that. We'll see how that works. All right. I am working on setting up my classes. I've tried to sit and do that. I have a variety of ideas going on. I'm going to bring back more of my beginner classes and stroke work and line work. So that will be coming up, and I will have some project classes. I will also be teaching with a few different groups this year, so that information will be coming out. To find out about that, and I again will have this in the notes, please look at www.rosemalingclasses.com. That will have my classes on there, and it will also have a variety of other teachers out there. I am not the only teacher out there. There are a lot of us, and by all means, everyone should take advantage of learning from a variety of teachers. We all bring our history, our background, our own collective learning to Rosemaling, just like any other art form. So I appreciate having lots and lots of people follow me, but I will be the first one to admit and say I am not the foremost authority on all I know. I am constantly learning. I am constantly trying to improve and bring new things to my work, experimenting with new styles. Sometimes that's not always easy when you're still got youngish kids at home and your college kids still need you. And, you know, but that's life. Isn't that the way it's supposed to be? It's not supposed to be, oh, easy peasy lemon squeezy all the time, because it just doesn't work that way. All right, let's see here. Again, I'm trying to get it as close as I can to what I've had here. I am not stressing if it's not perfect, because it's not going to be. It's just not. I got to make sure I get my dots in here. Right there. And I'm trying to make sure these dots are going down to my root. My root is down in this area, so you want everything to go down towards your root. Okay, here we go. I'll keep turning here. This is fun. Well, it's not really a short video, but, you know, it's all right. And it's been a while, and wouldn't it be nice to see a full completion on this? So, of course, this little butterfly is supposed to be for a gallery that I'm delivering for later today. Nothing like waiting to the last minute to finish things. It's those UFOs that you have hiding around. Now, UFO. For those of you who don't know what a UFO is, that is an unfinished object. So, not a flying thing, just unfinished. How many of you who are artists have UFOs sitting at home? You've been in a class, you've done most of it, you get home, and I'm going to get to that this week, and then weeks go by, and it's like, oh, nope, haven't gotten to it. Oh, nope, nope, nope. Or I'll start a piece for maybe a video or a project that I've been working on with an idea, and then it just sits there. It's like, oh, no, I'll get to it. And then it becomes like the elephant in the room. That happens sometimes too with commission work. Sometimes you have pieces that are extremely challenging, and you sit and you really try to look at it and figure it out. And then sometimes, even if it's a small piece, it almost becomes even bigger in your mind than it actually is. Finishing up a piece like that, I thought I had got it done, and you know, thankfully I'm working with the person who commissioned it, and she wasn't 100% pleased, and I don't blame her. When I look back at it, I was like, ooh, yeah, that didn't work. So, you know what? You go back to the drawing board a little bit. You try to rework it. Again, notice I keep turning my piece. I keep pulling my stuff. Oh, that was bad. That was a big blob. Let's go back here. Sometimes you reach a point where you have too much paint on. Just go back. Pull your brush through your paper towel. Notice I'm pulling this way. All right. Add a little medium. Go ahead, load through. I have way more paint than I'm really going to need. I'll see if I can use that on another project and finish up a little bit. Again, you don't need much paint. Paint goes a very long way. Here we go. I like how this is coming. Kind of fun. A little blob there. Oh well. What can you do? Not going to worry about this. So this, you know, I'll show you the centerpiece. This will be glued together. Now, also, sometimes when you have a really thin piece like this, you're not going to be able to nail in a hanger in the back. So I will use my hangers, and I don't know if I have one handy. I'll see. You'll have to hear me dive into my toolbox here. Sometimes what I'll do is I'll take crazy glue, and I'll use crazy glue on the back. This is the center. I'll use crazy glue back here and put the hanger on so I don't nail through it, because obviously this is very thin. You're not going to get a nail through here. So you have to be very careful with that. I've had instances where I've kind of messed that up. Or I've had, you know, my kids help me or my husband help me. Usually my husband catches it. Kids maybe not so quickly, but they've learned. All right. Get some nice little lines in here. Again, I am getting this as close as I can to being the same. I'm not too worried. Okay. Obviously, I have to look back here. That goes down, that goes up. Okay. Because you are doing a mirror image, so sometimes it can get a little confusing. Make sure I keep this in the screen. Okay. Again, wishing everybody a Happy New Year. I hope you've all been well, and I thank everybody for your comments. I apologize. You know, I went back through a lot of my videos, and I realized that there were comments that I missed from people, so I've gone back and answered. If you don't hear from me for a while, if you have a question and you think I've missed it, please reach out to me again, you know, so that I can answer any questions you may have. I know I had somebody ask a question in regards to these butterflies and where I've gotten them. So that's a site on Etsy. I will share that link as well so that you guys have it. All right, let's compare a little bit here. Oh, I'm missing a flower. Oh, I'll have to